In this week's parsha, we read about Rivka and how the pasuk tells us she came out with a jug on her shoulder and descended to the spring and drew water. The commentators ask, why do we need to know that she was carrying a jug? Obviously, if she's drawing water, she's going to be placing it in something. Why do we need to know it was a jug? Why do we need to know specifically that she carried it on her shoulder? Why is the location of the jug important? What is the significance of that? That Rivka was carrying a jug on her shoulder. So the commentators explain there's two ways to do acts of kindness. The one way you could do acts of kindness is you sit in my house, like I sit in my house, wait for somebody to knock on the door, for somebody to give me a phone call, to ask me for a favor, to ask me to do something kind for them, and I do it. That's the first way to do kindness. The second way, and the more preferable way, is to seek kindness, to go after it, to run towards it, to look for it, right? Or, if we don't go towards it and look for it, at least when we do the acts of kindness, we should do it with love and we should do it with enthusiasm. We should show the person who's asking the favor that it's not a burden on us. We should show him that he's more than welcome to ask us for the favor. So he shouldn't feel so ashamed to ask for the favor. He should feel welcoming. He should feel that he could approach us when he needs that favor. So when we show that enthusiasm and love, and we show that it's not a burden on us, that will make it easier on the other person to approach us, to ask for the favors. So the commentators explain that the Torah is telling us this exact thing by Rivka. Rivka had the jug on her shoulder. She came out saying, "Here I am, ready to help. It's my pleasure to be able to help. It's my pleasure to serve water." She did it with love and enthusiasm. She made herself available for the kindness so that she will be approachable, so that people will not feel shamed or bad to approach her to do that, to do the favor for them. And this is the way the Torah wants us to do acts of kindness. And we all know kindness starts at home. And sometimes, for example, a wife might have some things for the husband to do: wash the dishes, take the garbage out, sweep the floor. And the husband does those things after he's asked to. But at the end of the day, the wife sometimes comes and says, "I feel that my husband doesn't care for me. I still don't feel loved." And so we ask her why. I mean, the husband is doing everything you want. He's doing everything you ask him to do. So she says, if he really loved me, if he really cared for me, he would do those things without me asking. Why does he have to wait for me to ask him to do those things? Doesn't he see that I'm overwhelmed? Doesn't he see what I need to be done in the house? Why do I have to ask him? And the truth of the matter is, they're right. If we really, as husbands, if we really cared, if we really loved our wives, we would not wait to be directed or guided. We would see what her needs are. We would see how she's overwhelmed and what areas of life she would need help in. And we should do them without her having to ask us. So in other words, we are missing that jug on our shoulder. We are missing that enthusiasm. We are missing that love when we do the kindness and favors for our wives. We don't make ourselves available so that she doesn't even need to ask. She should see what her needs are, what her desires are, what she wants us to do, and do it without her asking us. That shows her that we really care for her. And you could do everything she asks you to do, but at the same time, still it's not enough. Because if you really cared enough, if you really loved her enough, we would see what her needs are and to do those needs without her asking. Having that jug on our shoulder, showing that, yes, I'm coming out, I will do anything that I can do. I will do all the kindness that I can do, all the favors that I can do without you asking me. I will do it with enthusiasm and with love. So that's the lesson we learned from this week's parsha. Hashem should help us that we should do kindness, true acts of kindness, both within our homes and outside. Shabbat shalom.